Thanks for joining us for CBN's On the Home Front, where we highlight what the men and women of America's military do to defend our country. I'm Mark Martin. With the government in its fifth week of a partial shutdown, it's the second paycheck in a row that 800,000 federal employees will not see, including National Guard and Coast Guard personnel. The shutdown stems from a stalemate between President Donald Trump and congressional Democrats over the president's promised border wall. Meanwhile, the National Guard continues to work to provide support to U.S. Customs and Border Protection along the border. Here's the third episode in a five-part series to show you what day-to-day life looks like for those on the front lines along the southwest border.
Private First Class Jacob Denby is looking for something out of the ordinary, something out of place, something not normally seen in a truck. Denby and other soldiers with the Texas Army National Guard are working alongside U.S. Customs and Border Protection agents at the Pharr, Texas port of entry. They are searching for illegal drugs and other unauthorized items to stop them from being brought into the country. Some 2,000 trucks pass through the Pharr port of entry every day. In one instance, they found close to 100 pounds of meth and heroin.
I felt great. It was exhilarating, like finding what you've been searching for. We've been down here for 2 months before that, and nothing. So it was nice to see the fruits of your labor.
Once anything illegal is found, CBP agents seize the items.
I am too. I'm on a double.
Guard members are working at ports of entry throughout the southwest border, checking both commercial and passenger vehicles.
I wave a car through at 3 miles per hour, and they come. We ask for the year, make, and model of the car. They give that. We radio it into Z-Portal, and from there they will tell us either it's good to go, or if it's got a orange slip on it, it goes to secondary, and we take them there, take the keys from them, set it on the windshield, and then go on to the next car.
Reporting for National Guard Bureau Public Affairs, I'm Air Force Technical Sergeant Stephen Schwach.
The U.S. Supreme Court ruled that President Trump's transgender military ban can go into effect. The president first announced the policy in July of 2017. It blocks transgender individuals from serving with limited exceptions. The High Court split 5-4 in allowing the plan to take effect, with the court's 5 conservatives greenlighting it and its 4 liberal members saying no. The order from the court was brief and procedural, with no elaboration from the justices. Despite a push from the Trump administration, the justices did not rule on the merits of the case. But the recent ruling does allow the ban to go forward while the lower courts continue to work through it. Chaplains with the Air National Guard in D.C. held their annual prayer breakfast to kick off the new year. The chaplains say they want their soldiers and airmen to be resilient and mission ready, and that being strong in their faith is at the forefront of preparation. The breakfast theme this year was Faith in the Fight, and is a part of their spiritual wellness and resilience program. Chaplain Miosha Wilson is the executive officer to the Air Force Chief of Chaplains and was the keynote speaker at the event. Wilson says, quote, "Faith is the thread that should be weaved throughout who we are, what we say, and what we do." The chaplain's core theme for 2019 is Inspiring Readiness. Chaplains and religious affairs airmen in South Dakota say their job goes beyond just serving in the U.S. military, but serving the Lord.
Chaplain Corps really are force multipliers in that we make sure that the people who are going to go do the mission, the people who are going to go be that pointy end of the spear and make mission happen, that we can do that, that they're able to do that to the best of their ability because they know that their foundation, that spiritual pillar, is solid for them.
It's the most important job that we could do, the best way of caring for human beings, because this whole idea of spiritual fitness encompasses all of life. When we ask someone, what does it mean to be spiritual? They say different things. Once again, because it encompasses all of life. To be spiritually fit is also to be physically fit and to be mentally fit.
We want to make sure that we're enabling the free exercise, the constitutionally protected right to your free exercise of religion. And that's where the basis of all of that comes in.
We are here to support and to encourage and to advise. And that's why we're here. So I think it's important for airmen to know that we're here for every level. We're here for people from all different kinds of backgrounds to help that spiritual pillar be strengthened, to help them find purpose.
Regardless of religion, or even if there is a lack of religion, a lack of belief in a higher power or a spiritual being, we're here to help the person spiritually. And you can be spiritual and not be religious. So we truly are here for every airman and their family.
We're here for the needs of airmen. It's the whole airman. So it's taking hot chocolate to a cold defender on New Year's Eve. It's taking care of the family who's just given birth to a baby and want that child baptized in their faith tradition. It's going to a commander and say, hey sir, have we thought about how this is affecting our airmen, or this airman, these are some things that might have led to them making a poor decision. So it's just being everywhere we can be to have positive impact on our airmen. It's a sanctuary. It's that place they can go when there's nowhere else to go. And we can offer them that haven and a place where they can come in and say, I need help. I'm broken right now.
Dozens of World War II veterans, relatives, and young soldiers recently gathered for a commemorative event at the Sicily Rome American Cemetery in Italy. 75 years ago, the Allied forces, led by American troops, landed on the shores of Anzio and Nettuno in central Italy for a crucial battle to push Nazi troops out of Italy and to take back Rome by early June of 1944. 11,000 Americans died on those shores to liberate Italy and are buried or memorialized in the American Cemetery of Anzio.
It was important for us as a family, my brother and I and my son, to come back here and honor the 75th anniversary of the landing because of his efforts and the efforts of all of these soldiers, men and women, from so many countries that were able to be a part of what was a tragedy in terms of war, but they made their sort of last final commitment here to liberate the Italian country. And we felt like Dad would really appreciate the fact that we came.
Those who attended the commemorative event shared stories of the soldiers that died that day, laid a wreath, and placed a candle on every gravestone. Veteran Dale Jones enlisted in the U.S. Army in September of 1940. He became one of many that fought valiantly in the North African and Italian campaigns of World War II. He shares his incredible story of service and sacrifice.
We come into the mouth of the Mediterranean, about 5 or 10 miles out away from land. There's a big explosion. You've never seen so many GIs in the water in all your life. And we went as fast as we could, and we picked up as many as we could. We headed for Oran, Algiers, in the Mediterranean. We got rid of all the Germans, I guess, and we headed back over through Algiers, over the mountain, and we come down, and it was in Tunisia.
When units of the 1st Armored came ashore at Oran in northern Tunisia, November 8, 1942, to challenge the Nazis' hold on North Africa.
The British were there first, and they cleaned the enemy out of Egypt and Libya, and here both armies are fighting, and the Germans are in the middle. Our objective was to hold Castring Pass. There was 2 passes, Fayed Pass to Kasserine Pass. Well, they snuck around Fayed Pass and cut us down. We got chewed up pretty bad. We landed on Anzio Beach. And from what I've learned, we got within 15 miles of Rome before the Germans found out, and they shoved us back within, 15 miles around from any corner of where the Anzio Beach was. Every major battle, we defeated the Germans, and on up the boot, one of the majors hollered at me. He said, "Jones," he said, "we want you to get in that plane. You're going back to Naples. You're going home." And then other guy says, "Yeah, that's pretty good, Jones." He was in the Marines, and he's the one that never come back. He got killed on Okinawa because they were shooting at this way, and they come back around on the side of him, and they had to reverse. They had to turn themselves, and what I understand is that the major said that your brother was shot twice in the neck, 2 shells. Said he never knew what hit him, and that makes me feel good.
Coming up, how CBN is stepping in to help a military family in need. Welcome back to On the Home Front. CBN honors the men and women in our military with an initiative called Helping the Home Front. It partners with churches across the country to meet the needs of their military families, from repairing homes to providing financial support to wiping out medical bills for wounded veterans. Marcus is a father of 3, and he's also a Marine who is facing a long deployment. He wanted his wife and children to be near family while he was away. They were about to go into debt to make that happen, but instead this military couple received a hand up from CBN's Helping the Home Front.
Behind every Frontlines Marine military operation stands a readiness support group with hundreds of Marines working hard to ensure the mission is a success. One support team includes flight equipment mechanic Marcus.
Everything that we do is essential to getting the mission done. The troops can't get on ground without the planes working. The planes can't work without the mechanics to fix the planes. Everyone is an integral part of making the whole process go.
When he's away, Marcus relies on his wife OSHA to take care of their son Xavier and their twins, Marcus III and Maya.
My wife does an excellent job. She's my backbone in so many ways.
OSHA relies on her faith in God to give her the strength to get through the long months when he's away.
As long as I stay close to the Lord, I know He will see me through anything. Without Him, I would not be able to get through our first deployment.
The couple decided to move OSHA and the children to be near family during the deployment. They planned to take out a loan to do it. To them, going into debt was worth it.
It makes me feel a little bit more at ease, knowing that if something was to happen to her, then they have cousins, aunts, grandparents, uncles right there in the vicinity instead of several hours away.
The couple attends River of Life Church close by Camp Lejeune. When their pastor, Chris Phillips, learned about their decision to take out a loan, he contacted CBN to ask for financial help. Pastor Chris told the couple the good news.
We want to pay for the U-Haul rental to get you loaded up and get you out of town.
Thank you so much. It's a blessing.
That sounds awesome. And in addition to that, we want to make sure that we take care of the expenses that are related to the travel, so that nothing will come out of your pocket to get you down there.
It's a blessing. Oh. It's a relief.
I'm not done yet. Just before you deploy, we want to pay the expenses to fly you from Jacksonville to Valdosta. So that you'll be able to see your family one last time before you're separated for months.
Thank you so much.
OSHA can now get through the deployment without worrying about debt.
I am so grateful that CBN has this program to show the military that you support them and you understand and that you can help them out as well. It just means so much.
Up next, a look at the lives of those working behind the scenes to make sure a pilot gets safely in the air. Thanks for staying with us. The 340th Expeditionary Aircraft Maintenance Unit showcases a day in the life of maintainers deployed to Kandahar Airfield in Afghanistan. These airmen ensure that the aircrafts are flight ready in order to effectively support their missions.
We're a busy unit. Everybody wants gas when they're flying. So the less gas you fly with, if you're an F-16 or an A-10 or a B-1, the more bombs you can put on target. So it's useful to have a flying gas station in the air all the time. Two jets really should never be so close to each other, especially when you're flying at 30, 40,000 feet, going 300, 400, 500 miles an hour. It's a wild thing. And it's amazing that we can do it. Disconnect. The fact that we're doing what we're doing with 60-year-old jets is even more insane, and it's really not something that you can put in words.
We take care of our planes. We want to maintain them. We want to take care of the small problems before they become big problems. It's the little things that make the big things go. This big airplane, it requires the smallest of parts sometimes to help keep it going. So I like taking pride on all my airplanes. I always like to make sure I wipe everything down and I make sure everything's tidied up in the cabin and make sure all the small stuff is fixed.
It's a unique thing that we're doing. We have about 130 different maintainers here at Kandahar, and they come from 16 different bases. We have jets from 5 or 6 different bases here. So none of us had met each other until we got here, and we came in, started working as a team from day one, and you talk to every single one of them, and they love the bird, they love fixing them. It's our version of classic cars, and it's a cool thing.
It is exhilarating. It is so awesome to be down here, being able to service that airplane and to know that it refueled like a B-52 or B-1 that's going out and getting the bad guys. It's exciting because I'm that little piece to the overall scope of what we're doing here.
And to walk into the field day one and know that every single one of the maintainers is 100% focused on what we're doing is phenomenal. And it's a feeling that I've got inside. It's hard to communicate, but knowing that I can come to work and they're giving their 110% every time, and I don't have to ask them to do it. It's a phenomenal thing.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after the break. Army Sergeant and medic Marco Martinez shares his story of returning to his native country of Honduras to provide medical care for the people there. His mission with Operation Enduring Promise and JTF Bravo was designed to provide humanitarian assistance and medical readiness throughout U.S. Southern Command.
So I've been here for 2 weeks. And I'm already experiencing these great changes and differences that we make for this country. And I'm really enjoying it. The culture's not new to me. I left this country when I was 6 years old. I grew up in a very poor home Water would come to our house once a week. I used to go out selling frozen Kool-Aid bags so that we'd have money at home. So from that change to who I am now, makes me want to work even harder to help and make a difference into other people's life. Being able to refamiliarize myself with my culture, it is an extreme blessing. I want to capitalize on that, and I may not be able to help every person, but the few people that we help, it just makes a whole difference. I've seen all these major branches here, and I feel important being part of this. I feel like it's a great work, and I think it's just incredible how we have all this equipment and we're able to help the people of Trujillo. They've expressed their gratitude, and that's all that we ask for in return, and they show it. They show their gratitude. And I've been asked by several of the local people in Honduras, how long have you been here? And when do you leave? I tell them, I've been here 2 weeks and I leave in August. Their response is, that's forever away. Me, that's not enough time. There's so much work to do. But when I leave this place, I want to feel like I can finally rest.
You can find more of our exclusive coverage at cbnnews.com. Hope you'll join us next time. Have a great day.